Actually breathe in my nostrils to make me move.
We have fewer democracies in the world today than we...
Fewer, not more, fewer.
President Biden, can you hear me?
That's a serious question, right?
And the President of the United States, Joseph R. Biden, Jr.
Let's go lick the world.
It's just that song threw a lot of them off.
I
He was
think
such
it's
a good singing. He's a self-published author, Jimmy. Do you know that awesome part?
His favorite. His favorite comedy sketch was Pat on Saturday Night Live. Just so you know.
That's problematic. That sketch.
Here we go.
Of us in the audience and in the watching know that it isn't working. What we need is to fix it. It's going to require that we reach for the moon. I've had plans to do that, but what we all do together is how we get to the moon.
Thank you very much, Mr.
Oh my God, he couldn't remember that. Okay, how do we do the moon thing? I got to shoot the moon. No, you don't do that. You shoot for the moon. Oh,
We got to blow up the moon. I mean, reach for the moon.
Paul. Marianne Williamson.
Thank you.
Oh,
It is difficult for the mind to absorb the enormity of this moment.
the moment. Another
No,
dollar.
it isn't.
Another dollar in the moment jar.
Yeah.
It is
Boy.
difficult.
Is that her Texas accent?
I wonder which accent she's using today.
This moment when we must get Israel back behind our party, which somehow we lost them and the Arabs.
And the
no
Arabs.
one's ever done it before. No one's ever united the Israelis and Arabs on not liking someone.
Fascism is literally in the house.
Fascism.
We have a
Fascism is literally in the house because
Start rapping, Marianne.
because fascism wasn't here when they were forcing experimental medical treatments on people. Fascism wasn't here when they were censoring people, criticizing those fascist tactics of forcing medical. That fascism just came now.
You
It
were
just
with that creep from the WEF with the German accent talking about fascism.
very sobering mission, and it is one that tens of millions of Americans
I love that they have Rosie O'Donnell doing the sign language. I really
It
do.
is. It's amazing. It's
are
great.
hoping that we get right. And we will get it right by transforming the Democratic Party.
Yeah, good luck.
We will become as audacious with our vision for this country as the Republicans are audacious with theirs. And we will do it by being exciting, by being motivating and inspiring and inspiring and amazing. And if
I think expiring. I think expiring. Joe Biden is
What, are you
just
gonna come up with new pronouns?
Joe.
What the hell are you gonna do? Hey, where do you hear these stupid pronouns
Where do you
that
hear
have to say
this?
for no reason?
I promise you, we will.
Thank you, Ms. Williamson. Martin O'Malley.
This is a moment of profound crisis in our
Oh
country.
God.
It's a moment. Another dollar in the moment jar.
Yeah.
The sort of crisis we have never seen before.
Whoa.
Really? We've never
is-
seen a crisis like this before. A guy who got a popular vote and now is actually doing stuff.
No, we dreaded this moment.
We've never seen this moment.
This is therefore not a normal DNC election. This election calls out for change, cries out for new leadership.
Cries out.
To meet this moment.
Oh, moment
The choice
again,
for all of
drinking.
us as Democrats is, do we have the courage to embrace change and rise to this moment? I
No.
believe we
Moment.
do.
Moment. Are we going to moment it? Well, give
Is
me
this
a
an improv
moment.
class?
What's
This
that?
sounds like an improv class.
It sounds like an improv class. All right, here we go.
And that is why I'm running for chair of the DNC.
At
Thank
this
you.
moment.
Thank you very much, Mr. O'Malley.
Wait, when did he say? Oh, this moment. Okay.
And Nate Snyder.
I believe we need leadership that's ready for a crisis, and I believe I'm that leader. As we mourn this tremendous...
And I'm going to sell you a bed. You're killing me, Larry. You're killing me.
When I took over my dad's Sleepy's mattress store at the airport.
I'm going to get you in a Queen Gina.
Wow. That's
Sealy
loss of life.
Posturpedic.
We have a president who is spewing fear, who is spewing lies, and
It sounds like you're trying to scare me about a guy who's trying to scare me. Isn't that kind of
Yeah.
ironic? I think that cancels it out.
Yeah.
an extremist narrative of hate. And I think the largest and
Wait a minute.
biggest...
Look at they switched sign language, ladies. I think they got watch her when he says hate.
We have a president who is spewing fear, who is spewing lies into an extremist narrative of hate.
Hate.
And I think the largest and biggest threat that we have to national security is the Republican Party.
Oh.
We need to push back with
To me, that sounds like fear. You're spewing fear, and it sounds like you're spewing hate. So again, as Carl Jung taught us all, that is called projection. He's projecting what they're doing, what's inside him. They can't even hide it a little. They're all about fear. That they've been nothing but fear-mongering about Donald Trump for 8-9 years now, almost a decade.
When are they going to accuse Trump of smuggling children in for lizard people? When is that projection coming?
Thing we got, and my intention is to dismantle this propaganda lie machine. I hope I can get your vote.
Thank you very much, Mr. Snyder.
I can't get over the
Thank you very
handshake.
much, Jen. And we'll begin with the opening statements. Each candidate will have 30 seconds, and we'll start with Dr. Quintessa Hathaway.
Oh, we already did this, right?
Yeah.
Good evening, everyone.
Okay, we did this. Okay.
I mean, it's worth hearing again. It's such a
It
great
is.
song.
So
It's
now,
inspiring.
the MSNBC host, this is Lee Fong. He's been on the show, friend of the show. His host is moderating the DNC event. He keeps badgering the candidates for chairperson on how to deal with voters who are racist and sexist. Boz Shakur was the only candidate to eschew identity politics and say that DNC should try shaping the discourse by elevating working class voices.
You know, Fai Shakir, Jimmy, he was like giving Bernie, back when Bernie could have won in the days when we believed in that.
Yeah.
He's in the Podesta emails where they're saying how he needs to be punished for advising Bernie.
Oh, really?
Podesta's emailing Neera Tanden about how that doesn't sit right with me and he better pay. So you know how he's like kind of saying the right stuff, but it's
Yeah.
like lame and weak like Bernie?
Yes.
That's why.
That's why. He is lame
he
and
hasn't
weak.
put together that his party will never allow any of the things in his
Well, that's
silly
what
head.
he knows the words, but he'll never follow through. I'm sure he signed documents to that effect.
All right, so Faz, I'll come to you on this one. Given that President Trump ran and he openly and consistently employed racist and misogynistic rhetoric on the campaign trail, we cannot ignore the role of fear and hate in Vice President Harris's defeat. How would you, as DNC chair,
I think we can. I'm
we can
ignoring
ignore
it. Yeah, I'm ignoring it.
I'm mostly focusing on how she sucked on every level.
Yeah.
no voter
I don't even know what the
prejudices?
hell race she is. Nobody ever. They told you 20 lies about what it is. She's either Indian or Jamaican. No one knows which one. So I don't even know what to be racist about.
I think she's more Canadian.
Well, you know what? I am racist against Canadians having influence. That's fair.
Here we go. Well, they're ostrich killers. Here we go.
Also addressing their real concerns about substantive policy issues.
I want to answer that while I discuss the media thing, because I've been for now 4 years. 4 years ago, launched a media organization, run a media organization called More Perfect Union that focused on doing video-based journalism. And it has wildly succeeded. We got 400 plus million views last year. The YouTube.
Oh, well, More Perfect Union. Actually, they do good. We've sourced their material. They do.
Yeah.
They do. Some good videos. So he's got a media. Or why does he want to get back into the goddamn Democratic Party? I saw Due Dissidence was making this point. What are you doing? You got a media company. It's successful.
Yeah.
You got 400 million views last year. What are you doing?
At what point do you stop going to the church that molested you?
Right?
Phase Shacker.
Channel is now over 1.4 million subscribers. By comparison, the Democrat
1.4. He's got over 1.4 million subscribers. He's nipping at my heels. I've got almost 1.5, but probably no. Actually, I have around 2 million. Actually, if you count Rumble and Twitter.
I'm surprised he made a successful thing, but that's because he's trying to move away from all the gibberish that made them lose.
And he's
and they're going, how can we keep this horse shit, the 3 W's, women, racism, and Russia, forever?
has 76,000 that started in 2006. What is going on? It isn't a problem of tubes and pipes. It is content. You have to wake up every day with a direction of what type of content will work on these platforms. Now, in my view, in these moments, and this kind of answers your question, the power of the Democratic Party is people. We put videographers on the ground working with our state parties. When Trump attacks, he goes after Medicaid. We tell stories about the people on Medicaid. I promise you, when you put a McDonald's worker or a Walmart's worker on a video explaining how my life is helped by Medicaid, it will be both good content, it gets out of the partisanship, because often those pieces of content may be in red states. They may be people who voted Trump. But if we focus on these kinds of economic justice issues, I believe we have an opportunity to bring people in who may not agree with us on racial, cultural, and other social justice matters. But when they see that Democratic Party put economic justice as a primacy issue, I do believe that it is our long-held, proud lineage. That's what they want to support.
Oh, you poor sweet kid.
So there he is laying out the hard truth. You got to focus on economics. You don't focus on identity politics. And I think he better take a Zoom meeting in lieu of air travel for a little while, if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Because that is not the message the Democratic donors want to hear.
The identity politics was to distract from the economic issues.
That's exactly right.
Did they not tell you that?
As Christian Parenti explained on our show, since World War II, the deep state and Rockefeller Foundations and the Ford Foundation, the NGOs have been together making sure that neither political party addresses the economic concerns of workers. That's why they're talking about pronouns and trans and misogyny and sexism and white supremacy. All that is to keep you from talking about economics. All that. That's why Cornel West's campaign was a loser from the start, because that's all he wanted to talk about.
As intended. He did not want to win in any way.
As intended.
Don't ever think that he was in there to win.
All right. So
now that's the clown show.
Okay. So
that's their stupid clown show. And all right, so here we go.
I have to say, Dr. Hathaway is still my favorite of all these speakers so far.
So they have they all say their stupid stuff, and then they bring out the outgoing chair. That's him, Jamie Harrison. You cannot believe what he's about to do. So they go out, they have their conference, and now they have to vote. So now they're going to vote for the DNC chair. And he comes out and he has to let them know what the procedure is for voting. Hold on to your because here it comes.
Get ready to meet the moment.
Get ready to meet this moment.
Rules specify that when we have a gender non-binary candidate or officer, the non-binary individual is counted as neither male nor female, and the remaining 6 offices must be gender balanced. With the results of the previous 4 elections, our elected officers are currently 2 male and 2 female. In order to be gender balanced, we must elect 1 male, 1 female, and 1 person of any gender. So again, this is what we have to do for this vice chair race. We have to elect 1 male, 1 female, and 1 person of any gender. To ensure our process accounts for male, female, and non-binary candidates, we conferred with our RBC co-chair, our LGBT caucus co-chair, and others to ensure that the process is inclusive and meets the gender balance requirements in our rules. To do this, our process will be slightly different than the one outlined to you earlier this week. But I hope you will see that in practice it is simple and transparent.
Simple.
The order of balloting is designed to ensure equal access to the ballot, regardless of gender identity. As we must elect a candidate of any gender as well as 1 male and 1 female vice chair, we will first ask members to elect a candidate of any gender on the first ballot. Any candidate, male, female, and non-binary, can be elected on that ballot. After a candidate is elected on the first ballot, we'll have 1 officer of the 3. So then we will know which position is filled of the 1 male, 1 female, and 1 vice chair of any gender. Our second ballot would also be for a candidate of any gender. Then our third ballot will be the third position that is remaining based on the two results. Either a male candidate if a candidate that is not male has not been elected, or a female candidate if a female has not been elected.
What about non-binary? So,
well, look at that go.
I think their thinking is that if they keep being wrong for long enough, it'll eventually do a full lap and they'll come around to being right again.
Dig all the way to China with this one.
I mean, it's just not going to happen in our lifetime, believe me.
Well, doesn't this sound, when I was on, not to bring up my incredibly successful Rogan appearance, but we were talking about that CIA handbook for how to be annoying.
Yeah, this is it.
Country.
This is it.
And
so
I gotta
this
say, this is right out of that handbook.
So when you see them doing all this stuff, this comes right out of the CIA handbook on how to stop economic progress in a political movement. This is how you stop, you infiltrate. So the fact that they're doing that's all where this all comes from. Christian Parenti explained it on our show. Go back and watch that interview. This isn't
who
new.
Is it that's infiltrating them and wants Democrats to fail this bad? Because this is DSA. The Democrats, remember a few years ago, we were laughing at the DSA meeting.
Yeah.
Where clearly that was intel destroying any semblance of whatever the hell that was
The
supposed to be.
DSA is completely co-opted and infiltrated by the CIA and the FBI. 100%.
Yeah, this is dumber than the DSA now. How did you see how the disease spread to
Yes.
the DNC completely? Which is, by the way, the intel coven.
I don't even, really honest, I can't even bear to play that again.
No, please don't. I can't meet the moment right now.
So you want to see, so who won? This guy won. That guy, Ken Martin. Can you?
Oh.
The party leader of Minnesota is their new national chair. And he didn't even sing.
No. Well, if Israel asks, I bet he will.
So you want to see who he really is? He's an Israel puppet.
Oh, why bother with a contest? What is this, last comic standing?
Nick Cruz says the Democrats just chose a hardcore Zionist as the DNC chair. The Democratic Party is doubling down on their support of genocide and Israel as a way to resist Trump.
That's their best plan. That is their best plan,
So
without a doubt.
This is that guy. There's a tweet from that guy. From the river to the sea is a chant used by extremists to support the destruction of Israel. It is appalling to embrace this rhetoric in this statement, which also doesn't even acknowledge the slaughter of Israel and American civilians. This is disgusting. That's him.
Oh, what about the Greater Israel Project? Is that disgusting? Because I think it covers the same amount of space, doesn't it? The river to the sea.
Do you want to see? Matt Stoller tweeted this out. Do you want to see what this guy really believes? So now, of course, the problem is that the Democrats abandoned the blue-collar workers. As Chuck Schumer told us in 2016, we don't care if we lose blue-collar workers because we're going after white-collar workers. So nobody's representing the workers. That's why Donald Trump is able to get the workers.
Look, AI is going to replace them. We got to kill them off with bioweapons
and
before we get to that AI.
And so here's how. So they're saying there's an oligarchy. We have to. Oh my God, there's billionaires surrounding Donald Trump. All of a sudden, they're worried about billionaires in government, even though they've been sucking up to billionaires. George Soros billionaires, that's okay. Bill Gates,
Don't even bring them up.
Bill Gates is billionaires, that's okay. All those other billionaires are fantastic.
I like the Netflix ones that you see a documentary on Netflix about what foods are their favorites. Those are the good billionaires.
Watch this.
There are a lot of good billionaires.
Ready? Are you going to take billionaire money? That's the question. Here we go.
There are a lot of good billionaires out there that have been with Democrats who share our values, and we will take their money, but we're not taking money from those bad billionaires.
Oh
boy.
Oh wow. You're not taking money from the bad ones, just the good ones.
Just the good billionaires.
Like George Soros.
Just the good. He's just going to take the good billionaire money, you guys. Just the good billionaire money. Isn't that amazing?
Hey, is anybody, people that are mad at Trump, like, I mean, I guess it's never going to happen, but do you ever go like, how in the hell did you get here? Do you think it's because you didn't go hard enough with the pronoun thing? Do you think that maybe was the problem? Like, I thought Trump was going to go to prison, and now he's in office and destroying all your stupid crap that you love. Like, you don't look at it and go, how could this have happened? Is it even my fault?
So they're embracing billionaires, Israel, and pronouns. It's a complete loser across the board. They're embracing Israel, billionaires, and identity politics.
By the way, they lost Israel, allowing Israel to do whatever the hell they wanted the whole time. They still lost that vote. Incredible.
The New York Times, we have no coherent message. The Democrats struggle to oppose Trump.
Who said that? They're in big trouble.
Well, more than 50 interviews with Democratic leaders reveal the party struggling to decide what it believes in. Yeah, because you can't have a party. The Democratic Party abandoned workers when Bill Clinton became president, and he passed NAFTA, and he repealed all the regulations on Wall Street, and he got in bed with the Koch brothers and all. So they became just like the Republicans in that way, that they're beholden to Wall Street. And as Russell Dobbler points out all the time, you can't have a left party that's beholden to Wall Street. You can't represent workers and Wall Street. You can't do it. So they've decided, screw workers. We're going with Wall Street because that's where the money is. Yeah. And so that's why Joe Biden crushed that railroad union strike. And so there's no point to their party. And so that's why hang on. So that's why they're left with this insane identity politics. And they're talking about 180 genders and puberty blockers and trans rights are human rights and non-binary and female leader, male and non-binary and this. That's what they're left with, and white supremacy and racism and sexism, because they are a party they're a left party that is beholden to Wall Street, the military-industrial complex, and there's no point to them. Right. And so that's why they don't have so when they go, oh, we just didn't get our message out, you don't have a message. Remember, they all keep saying that, well, we just didn't get our message out. You don't have a message. Kamala Harris didn't have a message. Joy. Right. Her message was joy. From one of the most psychotic people I've ever seen in politics. Joy. I
mean, clearly on heavy SSRIs. We also, in their leadership, I don't know if you saw that amazing presentation of the DNC, they have like too many puppets now and not enough puppeteers. To move up in the party, you have to be a complete cow. And so somebody has to be a leader, and they don't have any.
They don't have any.
They don't how all Trump their leaders are in the background. They don't want to be in the foreground. They just want puppets in the foreground. But the puppets can't, they're like not getting any puppeteering from the top. What's going on?
So Trump came in.
Yeah.
And he came in and just wiped away all the Republican policy. He came in and just like, we're doing it this way. And he just steamrolled through the primaries both times, or all three times, just wrecked them. And the Democrats don't have someone like that. They don't have someone to come out and say, we're not doing this identity politics. We're not taking billionaire money. We're going to make people's lives better economically. That's what we're doing. And we're going to end those wars. Not one of those people talked about ending the 800 military bases we have. None of them talked about that. None of them talked about stop spending money on Ukraine, stop spending money on Israel, invest that money back in America and our infrastructure, our education, healthcare. None of them talked about that. They don't, so that's why. So that's what happens when you have a left part or a party that's supposed to be a left party that's beholden to Wall Street. There is no message. There's no point.
Yeah.
And here's what Caitlin Johnstone says. Every time voters reject the Democratic Party because of its concrete actions and inactions, party insiders start babbling about messaging. The problem is never that the party does evil things while refusing to do good things. It's that they're not pushing the best narratives.
Right. They're empty vessels, these people. And I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but whoever was tapping the instructions into them must be gone. So now they're just walking around like lost sheep, like they have no transmissions coming in of what to blather. That's why they have no coherent message. So who got taken out? That's my question.
So there you go. There's your clown show. There's your clown show.
These are like lost clowns.
And we'll see you on we'll see you on February 15th. February 15th is sold out?
Sold out.
How did that happen?
We were promoting it.
Oh, okay. Wow. We should get a bigger venue. Maybe we should start playing the Improv. No, yeah. Okay. I mean, there's a lot of people that want to come over the hill, right? You know how that is. People don't like to come to the valley. So anyway. All right, over to Steph.
Okay, thank you, Jimmy. Hey, guys, we have a great show for you guys today. I'm telling you guys, it's fantastic. All right, guys, here we go. Winston, you made me giggle. The eyelashes really tie her face together. Nice one. Okay, let's see here. Jimmy, what are your thoughts on the Convention of States? 28 states have called for one, and only 34 are needed for it to happen. Seems the powerful don't want people to know what it is for a good reason. And this says, what are your thoughts on a Convention of States? 28 states have called for one. Jimmy, have you followed that at all? I don't think we followed that at all, DM.
Yes, no, that was...
oh, he has. Show him.
That was the... Cenk Uygur had this project to call for a constitutional convention. It was his Wolfpack thing, which was actually a good idea. And but that's over. It's not happening. They're not going to ever do it. It's not going to happen. A lot of lefties are afraid of it, by the way. So a lot, and of course, it's just infiltrated lefties who are afraid of it.
All right, thank you, Jimmy. Okay, next one. Savage says, read Protocols of the Learned of Elders of Zion, or is it the Learned of Elders of Zion? Jay feels good getting good people in the inside. Greenland is full of resources and is strategic target to Russia and a shipping passage through the Arctic to bypass Panama. Renaming Gulf of America bypasses Biden's Gulf of Mexico drilling ban. And that got you the big bells there. That was Buster Blue. Thank you, Buster Blue. Much appreciated. Here we go. Wade in the water. That's from Fernandez. And okay, let's see. Here we go. So this unvaccinated guy, great to hear from you. Big bells. Here we go, unvaccinated guy. I don't get it, but I'm still going to read it. Okay. Kurt waited for San Fran Bay to freeze over, then dug a hole in the ice, and then he placed peas all around the hole. He hid, and a bear came to take a pea, and he kicked him in the ice hole. There's a lot there, a lot of details, but it just didn't pay off. I don't think the ice hole...
How much did that cost him to say that?
Enough for me to buy a pair of shoes.
Nice.
All right. No, he got the big bells for that one. Hey, USAID is the primary regime change NGO. Trump can learn a lot by seeing who bitches about U.S. aids getting money cut off. And he certainly has, right, Sparky? Good to hear from you, Spark. Okay, Motor Socialist Movement. This is going to, Jimmy, you want to listen to this one. Loved the anger Jimmy had when pointing out about Biden's were with Ukraine. Will that anger ever be applied to Trump's $250 million in AIPAC money or Elon censoring on Israel's behalf? I missed it. So, Mortar, I'm sure you're going to see that we continue to challenge power. I think that's what this show does, if you haven't noticed.
There are people crossing their fingers hoping that I don't criticize Trump, even though I criticize him all the time. Isn't that amazing?